I think another statistic that I found to be quite interesting is we're not just talking about return to office or slow return to office and this desire for flexible working in societies like ours, like Australia or the UK or the US. There's a very slow return to office, and for me as a real estate person, that's something that's quite confrontational. But I think one of the stats that I delved into in a little bit more detail recently, which I found to be quite fascinating, was around the Great Resignation and people wanting to, leave their roles to the great unknown, which we know the figures are, massive. And you can any poll might say between 30% to 60%, right? But what I found quite interesting in that one is that the largest contingent that wanted to leave their roles was actually in India.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're thinking of it, and it's about why was that? Why was that? And it's a lack of upward mobility. So if we think about, India's role at the moment, great tech talent, call centers, so on and so forth. If we lose 40% of that workforce because they're dissatisfied, we're actually not talking about offices and spaces. We've got to look at, how do we retain that talent, wanting to do the types of roles that they do? How can we give them a higher and better purpose and upward mobility to be able to do that? So, I think when we're talking about hybrid work, remote work, when we're talking about return to office, future workplace, etc., we do need to kind of cut it down. We do need to segment it by location, demographics, role type, personality type, introverts, extroverts, etc., etc., etc. Because these stats are too broad. But I think at every single point, when you go to one level down, like my example of it's talent in India, it actually opens up a whole new picture.